Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be doing a quick build review of the Age of Sigmar Black Coach. Now I really liked this model when it first came out, and like, I gotta get this. I think it came out last week or maybe even a few days ago. I'm not sure exactly how long ago, but anyhow, yeah, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I really have to get it. So first thing I'm going to do is just give you a quick run through the instructions here. Fairly simple stuff, as you can see. First thing, we are going to build this in pieces, or we are going to paint this in pieces actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the main suspension and undercarriage assembly as one. Basically, this part here. This part here I'm going to leave as one, but I think I may leave the roof off just so I can get into the casket here. And then obviously the horses are also going to be left as one. So this is essentially going to be one assembly, or two assemblies really. This is going to be a separate one, and this is going to be a separate one for ease of painting. Now I don't usually do that. I paint my figures and these the spirits. I think I might attach them depending on how they sit. Painting guide, obviously we're not going to follow what Use Games Workshop paints, and here's for all of you guys that are interested in the rules. I don't play, so I don't actually know what any of this means. But yeah, so anyways, I don't usually paint in pieces just because it's a lot easier for me to assemble and paint, but this is too big. So what I did do already is I separated everything off the sprues, cleaned off the mold lines, and got it ready because I didn't want to spend 8 hours on the video doing this. So what we're gonna do is, sorry if you hear noise while I search for these parts, but the one thing I didn't do is separate it out properly, but I think we'll be okay. There's not that many of them, so as long as I pick the right parts, I think we'll be okay. The trick is picking the right parts, though. So bear with me here. So yeah, I haven't really done any videos in a long while. I have a bunch of stuff going on, so I'm trying to get back into it. So this is going to be my first getting back into it video. With the hope of obviously continuing on a more regular basis. Now I do say that quite often in all my videos, but this is I'm going to make it a point to actually continue doing this on a regular basis because I really do enjoy it, and I really do appreciate those of you guys hanging on. And I know I haven't been posting much, but my subscriber count hasn't been growing this whole time, so I actually feel bad of not delivering any content in a while. So I'm going to try and make an effort to actually put out more concise or more regular content, both modeling and figure painting. Now obviously this is figure painting, but I'm going to do both modeling and figure painting as much as possible. The figure painting may not, or the modeling may not come for a while. Only because my work area isn't situated yet as far as being completely situated after the move and so on and so forth. So modeling may not come for a while, or may not come right away at least, but it will come sooner than later. So but for first and foremost, or not first and foremost, but I'm gonna end up doing more painting videos first, because that requires a lot less space for me to work in than a huge, 1/35th scale or even bigger model setup. So the painting videos will come first. This is the first of them, obviously. This is going to be a quick build review. I do want to show off the details of this kit just because they're so awesome, but I'm also curious as to how it builds. Whether we'll have mold lines and so on and so forth. So we're going to be using Tamiya extra thin to assemble this, and let's get going. I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible, or as quick as possible. Again, I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but at the same time I kind of want to give you guys a decent idea of how this goes together. So, as I said, I'm really excited about most of the new Nighthaunt stuff. It looks really cool. The Black Coach was the old Black Coach was one of my favorite figures in fantasy. My favorite models in fantasy. And this one actually impressed me quite a bit when I saw it. So I ended up picking it up. I ended up going to Games Workshop a few days ago. I ended up picking it up. And yeah, here we are. So I figured what better way to get back into things than working on something that I'm excited about and that I really enjoy, that I think I'll really enjoy working on. Hopefully, it's a big model. That's another reason I want to do this on camera, is to show you guys exactly how big this thing is, but it is a big model. But again, I think I'm really gonna have a good time working on this, and hopefully you guys enjoy the videos. Thinking that obviously the build review here that I'm doing now, that's going to be one part, and I'm thinking the painting video, hopefully I can keep it to one part as well. I don't want, is this right? Hold on 1 second, guys. No. Oh, that's weird. It's a weird little... It's a weird connection. Goes like this. Okay. I don't want to turn this into too many parts, because as you guys noticed with those of you guys who've been waiting for more on the Magnus the Red series, which won't come anytime soon because the figures are all packed away, and yeah, it's just a mess. There's probably going to have some damage that I have to fix and so on and so forth on that one. So, but as you've noticed, I'm not very good at keeping up with multi-part series, only because I get bored very easily, and I either move on or I get tired of looking at the figure, and I just don't want anything to do with it after a while. And so yeah, so I'm going to try and keep this to as few parts as possible. The painting might end up being 2 parts, maybe at the most, but I'm going to do my best to keep it to 1 part. Again, for that reason. Hold on, I gotta find little diddly pieces here. There we go. And it's kind of like this, yeah. And I forgot to clean off some flash off of here, apparently. Where is my knife? How did my knife go? What you guys do with it? Again, I have such a small area to work on, or to work with, really, for the time being, that it's just... I don't even want to show you guys the mess that I'm working on right now, that I'm working amongst right now, but you know what, it does the trick, so I'm okay with it. I'm going to fix those afterwards. I'm going to take this flash off afterwards, but I just realized I forgot to take those, that connecting flash off. That's okay. But yeah, so until I'm settled in, it's basically just going to be me working on smaller stuff, so it's mostly going to be painting unless I really get tired of, or really get fiending for a model, which I actually have been recently, believe it or not. I have been fiending for some model kits too, to build some. But yeah, until then, it's just mainly going to be figures. And it might mainly be Nighthaunt too, because as I said, I really actually like the Nighthaunt models. or at least what Games Workshop's been releasing so far. I'm hoping for like a really badass looking character. Where does this go? Oh, here. Right? Here and here. Like this. Okay. This goes like this. So yeah, and I'm not usually, those of you guys who know me from my past videos, I'm not usually one to praise Games Workshop that much. Especially after they killed Warhammer off for me. Which, Age of Sigmar, I mean, I can't get into the fluff or any, to me it's just terrible. And I'm sorry for those of you guys who enjoy Age of Sigmar, but the fluff to me is horrid. And so, I mean, it literally, some of it reads like a 10-year-old wrote it. And so, but ooh, that's instant karma right there. But some of the models are actually really cool, so I do enjoy that. Not all of them, but some of them. Like, I like the dwarves. The sea elves, whatever the hell they're called, are just, I don't, not for me, I guess. They're a little too over the top. But yeah, the Nighthaunt's awesome looking. Stormcast hit or miss for me, depending on the figure. I guess they all look the same, so it's kind of like, you know, you've seen one Space Marine, you've seen them all type of deal. But yeah, the Nighthaunt so far, I'm actually really impressed by the models that they've put out, so you'll probably be seeing me doing more of those at some point. So I'm going to let this dry here. Now let's tackle one of the suspension parts here. Is it you, or is it the other piece? That's the one thing. I mean, granted, this is only, you know, 50 parts or whatever the hell, but if this was a much larger kit, one pain in the butt of pre-cleaning all these parts is you lose the sprue number, so I gotta go searching and comparing, making sure I got the right pieces here. But yeah, this is it. So, let's see, you go like this. Yep. Okay. Opposite end. So far everything's coming together quite well. The one thing I'm interested in seeing once we actually put this together is how much filler it's going to need, if any. I'm hoping not, because I truly don't know where the hell my green stuff is, where my filler putty is, so I'm hoping it's not going to need any. But I don't know, we'll see. So, oh, okay, this is at an angle already, because I was going to say the instructions told me to put this at an angle, but it's not really twisted, but it is at an angle already, okay. So I can glue this into place. What I should have done is glue the back wheels on first, so then I can just rest this on here and not have it resting at an angle, but, oh well, hindsight is 20/20, right? Let that dry. And obviously it's not. As straight as possible, put it down on here so that I can, let me get the big wheels on as quickly as possible too. Alright, which one are you? Are you... yeah, this one, and you're this one, okay. I get these big wheels on here so that it could actually rest evenly. Yeah, this is going to be, I'm actually really looking forward to all this wood grain on here. I love painting wood. and wood grain in particular, so I'm actually looking forward to all this. I haven't decided on the color scheme yet. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free. I was originally thinking of following the box art. Alright, here's this. So take it just real quick. Take a look at all the details. They're really impressive looking. I mean, look at all that wood grain. That's going to be really fun to paint. I mean, even like the suspension piece here. That's really cool. Touche GW. This is very impressive. Now let me stop screwing around with it so I can have a chance to dry. Okay. Next up is the inside of the coach, the casket, and well, essentially will hold the casket together. So let's put you together first. How do you go together? You go together like this. I originally, when I was cleaning this, originally didn't know what the hell this was. So I'm like, what is this, a little freaking lifeboat or something, or what am I putting together over here? But then I started looking through the instructions and realized that this basically sits in here and holds the casket, and it's just such a weird shape. I wasn't sure what the heck that was. It's too big to be a coffin. I wasn't sure what it was. This little piece goes here. Always dry fit everything, or at least try to if you can. Just to make sure it's all fitting properly. I learned that from modeling more so than figure painting, but I always want to try and dry fit everything, make sure it fits properly. So far, so good as far as the fit goes. Now, at the end of this video, we'll take a much closer look at all the details and how everything fit together, so on and so forth, just to see if there's any gaps, any mold lines, any issues of that sort. Here's the vampire, and I actually think that looks really cool too. I really like this model. I really like this model, but let me just throw a little, not a little caveat in there, just a little exception is I also really like the old one. Does it matter which way this goes? Probably. See, this is why you guys shouldn't use my method. So this end's gonna be longer, right? Wider, rather. This is why you guys shouldn't use my method, but rather follow the instructions and just do it one piece at a time, like a normal person. Try to make this faster. Try to speed up the process to make it faster. There we go. Does this go back here? Yep, this goes back here. Okay. And I'm fumbling through looking for the right parts. What else is new, right? So yeah, anyways, I really like this model, but I also really like the old Black Coach. It had... This is certainly much more impressive detail-wise, but the old model has a really unique aesthetic about it. It's got that old Gothic feel to it. And I actually have the old model somewhere, which I might be tempted to pull out and work on after this one's done, just for comparison's sake. I mean, obviously the two don't compare, but I actually also thought about taking the horses from this one and kit bashing it with the old coach and kind of putting the two together and seeing how that looks. I don't know, I've got a lot of ideas in my head, not very much time to execute it all though, so yeah, but we'll see. I'm going to paint the vampire in there already, so I'm not going to bother leaving him out. It's going to be easy. Another thing I'd like you guys to tell me is, do I keep the casket open or close? Thinking open, obviously, but this is what it looks like closed. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure there's no glue here, and then I can just pop this lid on it for the time being. And I mean, I can always not glue it and just, you know, leave it removable, or maybe glue it like this if it fits in there. I'm not sure. So this is this glue dry yet? No, I don't want to risk it attaching to it. Or do I attach it to it? I think I can leave it attached. There's not going to be, I mean, I can fit in here with a brush if I really wanted to. Just along the edges, maybe add some brown in there, but there's going to be so much shadow in there you won't be able to see any color in there anyways, so it won't make a difference whether I attach it or not. So now comes, I'm going to leave it off for the time being. Now comes the interesting decision. Well, interesting decision. Now I have to make a decision. So like I said, we were going to leave this piece off separately to paint, but I want to leave this roof off so I can get in and paint the casket and everything else in there. So, do I attach these to this and then leave that separate, or do I attach these to here and just leave the top of the roof separate? So let's check it out. Let's grab the roof. And let's grab these curtains and such and supports, whatever you want to call them here. Okay, so attaching it to the roof, I end up with a very solid attachment point. Attaching it to casket. Yeah, I'm going to attach it to the roof. Because, like, even if I don't mind this attachment point, but that impedes us from painting all this detail in here and so on and so forth, so I'm going to attach it to the roof. Yep, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any ideas for a color scheme on this, because as I said, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm not even sure whether I want to make all the, so like the horses on the box art and stuff are all ethereal. I don't know if I want to go that route, or if I just kind of want to make the spirits and like the smoky portions on the wheels ethereal. I'm not really sure what direction I want to take this in, so let me know what you guys think. And what I should do, and I need like a primary color on this, so I was thinking either red or purple, and I'm leaning towards purple. But then again, my old vampire accounts in Warhammer Fantasy were red, so I don't know if I want to take the nostalgic route on that and do it that way, but so that looks pretty cool too. Let me see how this, whoops. Is this going to stay on? Just for us to be able to do a quick review of everything mounted on here, am I going to have to rig this up here somehow? I might have to rig it up here somehow at some point, but for now we're okay. Right, next is the horses, or next are the horses. So let me do this. This is where I'm worried about there being flash. or flash rather, sorry. This is where I'm worried about there being mold lines as the horses, because all the horses are molded halfway. If there isn't, that would be super, or if there's minimal at least, that would be likewise super, just because I don't really feel like having to... Are these both the same? Please tell me they're both the same. Yes, they are. These are both the same, so I don't have to figure out which one goes where. But yeah, I would like there to be minimal filling to do, if any. I'm not a big fan of assembling or having to clean and assemble figures. Is just prepping in general drives me bonkers. So the less I have to do of it, the better. So like, see, like a gap like this, you'd usually want to fill, but if you press it hard enough together, and the plastic that's melted, the glue's melting, will actually fill it in for you, and then I'll just go back and sand it down real quick afterwards before priming, and then it'll be good to go. Okay, so which way am I doing this way? Okay. You go in here. Yeah. I'm going to put you wherever you fit easiest. You fit here easiest, so I'm going to put you there. In case it does make a difference. They didn't seem any different to me. I was comparing them, but in case they are. I'm actually almost there as far as there's so many. I guess horses take a lot of parts too. Alright, so that's that. Now for the horses. All the king's men and all the king's horses. So these are, again, really nicely detailed. I really like these. So that's what I was thinking, like, do I make the entire horses ethereal? Or do I just make, like, some of their parts and then blend it into, like, actual colors and stuff? I don't know. Obviously, making them entirely ethereal would be the easy thing to do. So that's always an option. However, this is the wrong piece, isn't it? This is going to suck. There we go. However, thinking of taking, the color option of where I just make some of the portions ethereal and the others, actual color. I don't know how that would look, to be honest with you. I don't know if that will... I don't know if I can pull it off well enough to where it looks good, or if it would look like crap. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. As far as what I should do with that. There we go. And these are the gaps here that I'm worried about most. See if they're going to need filler or not. Let me see, is that going to need to be filled? You know what, I might be able to get away with it. I should be able to get away without having to fill it. Excellent. We'll see, but I should be able to, so not have to fill it. Alright, next. This is really cool too. This piece right here reminds me of the old blood dragons, which were my favorite. Of the Vampire Counts family. I like them all. I mean, the Von Karsteins, the Blood Dragons of Karsteins, the Lamians. Only ones I didn't like was the Strigoi. I wasn't a huge fan of just beasts. But yeah, the Blood Dragons were absolutely my favorite ones. Again, even if you're not doing it the way I'm doing it, even if you're taking it directly off the sprue, cleaning it, and then just gluing it right in place where it tells you, always be sure to test fit these just to make sure they go together pretty well. But Again, it's really cool looking. I like it. I like it. Alright, so that's these guys. And let me assemble the other two. Just to have them all done. This guy gets the other. Might as well take the two heads out. Put the bodies together first to give them some support. Not really some support, but I don't know. Leave me alone. There we go. Put the heads on now. And I think we will be done with the horses. Just double checking the instructions here to make sure I'm not missing anything. There's still so many parts left in this box. And I just remember that the wraiths or the ghosts or the spirit hosts or whatever you want to call them, there's quite a few of those too, so it's... Okay, now I'm trying to decide whether to glue these or not. Also, the next step in the instructions is what I think about that. Next step of the instructions is taking, oops, sorry for shaking the camera, is taking this piece here, which is a basing piece, and attaching it underneath the coach, underneath the carriage. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is dry fitting it, but leaving it unglued. And that way I can glue this piece to the base, but then remove the coach when it's time to paint it. These I think I'm going to attach though. Yeah, I'm going to attach these guys. The wood's not really going to hinder much of the painting. I'll still be able to get in there. And what I will be able to do though is attach them to the base. Or at least stand them up. No, I won't be able to stand them. Yeah, see, I won't be able to stand them up properly. So yeah, let me attach these guys and I'll be able to glue them to the base. And at least have a way to mount them properly. Oh, you're not dry yet, are you? Shit. Shit. That's not good. I gotta take this guy off. I should have given them more time to dry is what I should have done. These guys are good. No, these guys are good. This guy needs more time to dry. Push it back together. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Other ones, let them dry first. We can move on for the time being. The wraiths. So, Karen Wraith. Don't mind me taking a sip of my coffee, it's early. So we're gonna do the one with the scythe and the whip and so on and so forth. Only because I like the detail a lot more on that one. I'm not. Let me see, where's this head? I'm not a huge fan of the Sauron head. That's what it looks like to me, or a ring wraith, even. But it's better than just the alternative plain hood, so why not? And there's no attachment points on here, so you have to just line it up properly and stick it together on one side, and then go back and do it on the other side. There you go. And again, just press it together real hard. And hopefully that melting plastic in there kind of melts together the any gaps and whatnot. And after this video, I'll go back, before I go to prime this, I'll go back and I'll check for any like major gaps. If there are any, then obviously I'll go in and fill it. But again, I'm hoping there aren't any. Alright, so here's the wraith. She looks pretty cool. The reason I'm also doing this in real time, or doing it, yeah, in real time instead of, I'm starting to run out of space over here. Instead of doing a speed up like I've done in previous videos. Hold on, I'm just making sure I'm picking the right part over here. Is this? Yeah, this is it. Instead of doing it sped up like I've done in previous videos, is I actually wanted to take the time and do some chatting while I'm doing this recording. This isn't the right part, damn it. This is the right part. Do some chatting while I'm doing this video. Let me know what you guys think, whether you'd rather this just a little bit longer format, obviously, and me just yapping, as opposed to me doing this sped up and much faster. So let me know what you guys think. I think for the time being I'm going to keep it at this format, only because I think you get to see the process much better as well, and the details on the figures. And obviously when it comes to building models, I won't do that, because we'd end up with 10-hour long videos or 20-hour long videos just for the build itself. But for these smaller kits, I have no problem doing that. And granted, it's still going to be a hour-long video at this point. But let me know what you guys think. And I can always go back to the old format too, obviously. But you know what? I'm lazy. And so doing this is actually a lot easier for me, because there's a lot less editing I have to do. And the video at the end. Okay, this guy's pretty cool. This is actually my favorite wraith, because you know what? He's drunk. He is drunk. He's just like, wait for me, guys. Guys, where are you going? Wait for me. I like this guy. He's my favorite one. Alright, now you. So this guy is the sword holding one. One thing I always liked about, and Games Workshop figures haven't had this in a long time, maybe since the mid or late 90s, early 2000s, but one thing I missed dearly about the old Warhammer figures, and even 40K to some extent, is just the character. And some of the figures, whether it's the comedy or whether it's just just character. It's hard to explain for me, but in my opinion, Games Workshop figures have lacked character in a long time. The reason to me babbling on about this is, do I have one extra Wraith here, or what the fuck's going on? Oh, sorry about my French here. Anyways, let's put this guy together. Anyways, but I feel like recently, at least, and again, I'm not talking about Stormcast because those are too cookie cutter for me to really be able to say that, hey, they have character. But like this model, for instance, I feel like it's got plenty of character to it. So I almost wanna very cautiously say that I feel like they're definitely stepping up their game as far as quality's obviously never been an issue other than Finecast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I have one extra Wraith here. Oh, that's the body for the that's the extra body for the driver. That's what that is. Okay. And last pieces here is the graves that are going to go on the base. So yeah, I feel like they're stepping up their game. I feel like much more character in these figures. They're much more lively and just, yeah. I'm starting to get won back over by Games Workshop after a lot of years of just crap. Okay, so what we're left with is just the extra driver parts. Okay, now what I want to do first is now glue these horsies back up because they should have had ample time to dry. So add these horses back. That's a large model. It took me, I brought this home on Thursday, today's Sunday. It took me maybe, this guy might need some filler here, maybe, we'll see. Maybe we'll get by without it. I'll figure it out once the time comes. Anyways, it took me maybe 8 hours to clean all this. Hopefully it stays together, don't break apart from me. Yeah, he'll stay together, okay. Okay, so gotta be smart about this now. There's the base. Horses come off the base, I know that. I just have to be smart about where I glue these things. So let me glue this. Does this look about right? Yeah, it looks about right. So let me glue this first. And it doesn't have to be exact, obviously, but I just don't want it to look bad. Okay. More glue on here. Should we get a good fit? Perfect. Press it down. Excellent. Alright, now we've got him in place at least, the coach in place. Yeah, it looks, that's really starting. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I mean, look at this. Look how cool that looks. Shit. Games Workshop, you guys didn't have to kill Warhammer. You just could have started putting out really cool looking figures like this. That's all you had to do. Why was it necessary to kill off an excellent IP like that when all you had to do was just putting out really good looking figures and tweak the rules? Sure, the rules were clunky, the rules sucked. I get it, but you didn't have to kill off the whole world. You could have just tweaked the rules. Fuck, you could have even... You could have made them Age of Sigmar rules if you really wanted to change the rule set that drastically. Bear with me, guys, while I do that. I just want to make sure I do this right. But kept it in the same world, kept it in the old world, because I gotta tell you, every time I play Warhammer Total War, I just miss Warhammer nowadays. The world. The game was pretty good too, but the world itself, Age of Sigmar, is just... But whatever, teach their own. This figure, however, is excellent. I gotta hold this to dry for a little bit. You I can remove though. I may have had to pin this, but I think we'll be alright once it's dry. I'll add some, once I'm basing this, I'll add some PVA glue around here to make sure it really holds it down. Alright, let this dry. While this is drying, how is this attached? Yeah, we'll be alright, as I said, once we get some PVA glue on there. Do we want to add some graves on here to the side? Yeah, why not? Let's do one here. And, oops. Stick you here, and let's stick you here. I'm going to try and put them on the edge as much as possible so they don't interfere with the coach itself. So I'm kind of doing this in the blind. Oops, put that the wrong way. Writing's only on one side. There we go. Okay, now letting this dry. So the spirit posts, or the wraiths, or whatever you want to call them. One more sip of coffee for me. That my hands can shake even more on camera. Where is the roof? Or where are the wraiths, rather, that are going on the roof? I'm just trying to see how much they're going to impede. They won't. Or they shouldn't. There we go. There's one. There's the drunk one. This is the drunkie. Drunkie, where you going? You going on here? Whoa. Speaking of handshaking. Damn it. That was that last sip of coffee, I'm telling you guys. Alright, drunkie. I see, legitimately my favorite one. I mean, come on. This guy's not drunk. And the one with the book. Goes like this. Okay. think these are the pieces I'm going to paint it in. So, let me put this guy back here. So this is going to be one piece that it's going to get painted in. I'm going to give you guys just a closer look before I put it all together, because I'm sure I won't be able to move them as much as I am now once it's dry fit together. Close the look here. This is the second piece that it's going to be painted in. It's just so cool looking, especially how they hang off the base. So cool looking. Third piece. And let me see if this guy sits on here, whether he'll fall off without glue. He sits. Okay. Nope, he'll fall off. And fourth piece, obviously, being the casket. So, let's now go back here. And we're doing this. Come on. There we go. And here, there we go. Obviously, I'll glue this down once it's done. I'm gonna put the lid on for the time being. Actually, yeah, put it on for the time being. This is going to be very tricky as far as keeping this on because of the weight, so I'm just gonna kind of. I actually have to hold this throughout me guys showing you what this looks like. Yeah, just the weight alone, the top weight, it's very top heavy because of the wraiths, and there's absolutely no way for me to attach this. No, hold on, let me try something off camera real quick, bear with me guys. If I can attach it. Maybe. Yep. Okay. Put the lid back on here. Okay, this is exciting. Put this on here. And voila. I mean, how cool is that? How cool is that? Wow. How big is this? I don't even know where to grab it by for the time being that it's only dry fit. And the wraith's gonna sit further back, obviously, but check this out. It's a little expensive. Obviously, I think it's $110 or 15 that I ended up paying. I did buy this at Games Workshop, so obviously I paid a full retail on it. Buck. Come on, can you put it back on? I don't want to end this build review with this falling apart on me and in pieces. There we go. Alright, we're good. I'm just gonna stop screwing with it. So anyhow, it is a little bit expensive. Again, at $110 retail, and you can get it cheaper. I'm sure somewhere you can find it cheaper, but is it worth it? Yeah, I'd say so. Look at that thing. Just look how cool that looks. I'd say it's well worth it. That's going to be a lot of painting though too. So anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I did. It's actually really nice to be making videos again, so I'm glad to be somewhat back. And the next video you see out of me, you're going to see out of me is me starting to paint this thing. Yeah, so again we're going to do that in pieces. We're going to start painting in pieces. Hopefully I can get it primed tonight and then get working on it. Thank you guys. Let me know what you think, and until next time.